Tonight on CSTV, we take a look at the upcoming Centennial Colts basketball season.
And we head down to East York to check out some tiny titans as they learn the ins and outs of soccer.
And things get spooky for charity at Riverdale Park. That's all coming up next on CSTV. Welcome to CSTV, everybody. I'm Lanny Foster with Katie Smith. It's our second last show, and it's on Halloween. How scary is that?
We want to take this moment to thank everybody for postponing their Halloween festivities a little bit to stick it out with us.
I think it's worth it. Let's get cooking. The NBA season just began, and with the start of a new basketball season comes the looming disappointment for Toronto Ball fans. But while it's easy to focus on the impending failure of the Fightin' Ujires, let's not forget our very own Centennial Colts. CSTV's Anson Henry has more.
Centennial College, home of the Colts. Wednesday, October 30th marks the home opener, and the fans want to know what's in store.
Yeah, it's one of the bigger games. One that we definitely want to win. No one wants to lose the home opener. So it's your home territory, you want to defend that. So I find that you have to defend that home territory. So it's really important.
The Colts opened up their season against their biggest rivals, the Seneca Sting. And with that comes Player of the Year, Felix Ajayi, who was the top scorer in the league while leading the Sting to the Eastern Region Championship. The team split 1-1 last season.
Honestly, I'm looking forward to the challenge. You know, he's done very well in his first year, last year, and then, so he's coming back strong. He had 30 points his first game, so he looks like he's on track to compete for that award again this year. So just trying to keep him under check and play some good defense. Hopefully we can stop him from scoring.
Just because he's an all-Canadian doesn't mean that he's going to come out and go at us, because we can defensively shut him down if we wanted to.
Defense in the running game will prove to be huge weapons for the Colts to drain the legs of their opponent while using their long-range shooting to open up the floor and pile points on the scoreboard.
They just better be ready for a hard team, ready to play and win, doing whatever we have to do to get the job done. So they think it's going to be an easy game to come in here and walk out with a W. It's not going to be like that.
Anson Henry, Centennial Sports.
Katie, Seneca and Centennial, it's a great rivalry. They split the season series last year. What do you see coming up for this year?
Well, Tristan Stern has had a great preseason so far. He's all business. Should be a good year.
I hope so.
Well, the Balmy Beach men's rugby tournament advanced to the provincial championships despite finishing 6-8 in the Premier League this season. They went on to trump the Oshawa Vikings 65-8 in the first round of the McCormick Cup. But unfortunately, they were eliminated in the second round after a nail-biting 13-7 loss to Stony Creek. They did, however, qualify for the consolation finals, but the game was canceled at the last minute. CSTV contacted officials, but they declined to comment. Well, if you're anything like us and you ever look in the mirror and wonder, dear God, what happened to my youth?
All the time.
Friends, you are not alone. And Lanny, the winters here really don't make it easy for motivation.
I'm never motivated.
Never. If it's 4:30 and it's dark, I'm going to tell you this, I'm staying home.
I'm always staying home. So I'm on par with you.
Luckily, CSTV's own Mark McDonald has some tips for you on how to stay healthy and avoid that winter weight.
All right, guys, I'm here at the Major League Sportsplex on the Danforth in their indoor soccer facility, which obviously comes in handy during the winter time when you don't really want to spend much time outside. If you're like me, you get fat and you get into hibernation mode. And so we went around and asked the athletes and coaches around here at the facility, what are good tips for average Canadians to stay in shape during the winter months?
Go to the gym and I get a personal trainer.
Yeah, so I sometimes go to the YMCA and go swimming. And I also come around here and just kick the ball.
Be active, join the gym. Things are cheap nowadays.
I do treadmill, the bikes for about 2 hours, and I go home and, well, if I don't have time on the weekends, I have an app on my phone that I work out with.
I set a goal in the winter, and I usually try to reach the goal.
All right, so there you have it, guys. Some good advice from some of East York's very own athletes. I hope you guys learned a thing or two. So for Mark McDonald, Centennial Sports TV, back to you, Lanny and Katie.
Coming up on CSTV, we check out some Leaside Flames action as they face the Toronto Eastenders.
And we head to the Danforth to check out the pricey pastime known as CrossFit.
Have you ever wanted to work in the sports media industry? Centennial College offers a post-grad sports journalism program that will give you the skills and guidance needed to start your own career in sports media. Centennial College provides students with the opportunity to work in real-life newsroom, radio, and television studio environments. Turn your passion into a sports career today. Check out centennialcollege.ca for more details.
Welcome back, everyone. If you're just joining us, I'm Katie, this is Lanny, and this is CSTV.
It's been a great show so far, I hope. Katie, I have to ask you, the NHL season's well underway. Do you have a favorite team?
Oh, Lanny, you know the answer to this. Everybody here knows the answer to that. The Canucks are my team, friends.
Disgusting. I hate you now. Let's go to the NHL action. There were 4 games in the NHL last night, including action with the Eastern Conference champions, Sidney Crosby, Pavel Datsyuk, and Dion Phaneuf returning to Calgary. That's why we know you weren't watching the Leaside Flames Toronto Eastenders game. But don't worry, we've got you covered. Let's go there now. It's a big game in the GTHL standings as the Flames take on what looks like the 1998 New York Rangers. The Eastenders strike first. Matt De La Pena finds Chimenti open in front. It's 1-0. They gain the early edge. A great start for the Eastenders on the road. The Enders continue to pour it on. This time it's David Mizrael barging in. He's stopped by Jake Brenthurst, but Brenthurst, your work's not done, buddy. Mizrael kept working behind the net, going into lug mode before eventually shoving it in front. He follows the shot, goes skate to stick, tucks it in like a baby into his crib. Was that your son? Yeah, my son scored. I have Tim Hortons. And it's 2-0 after 1 period. After a quick pep talk, the Flames come out on fire. It's Chambers cutting across the middle of the ice. He puts it roof daddy where mama keeps the Ovaltine, cutting the lead to 2-1. Nothing else happened in that period, apparently, so we're going right to the third. And in that closing frame, much like the Harrison Ford feature coming out, it was the Enders game. A nice shot there makes it 3-1. Then on a Flames power play, Mikey Dolman takes out Mizrael behind the net. Mizrael keeps working and eventually kills the penalty by himself. But back the other way, it's Chambers trying to get the Flames going. He gets hauled down on a breakaway. The ref makes some unusual call. I think he just made this up tonight. It's an X above his head, which apparently in ref terms means penalty shot. This man Chambers goes at the speed of bread, taking the molasses-like approach, going, nothing. It's still 3-1. The Flames couldn't buy one. An empty netter for Toronto made it 4-1. Good job, Young Bucks. Toronto takes the win.
Well, Annie, that looked like a really good game. I gotta ask you though, what is with the X?
Yeah, I don't know. No one really knows. It's a question we'll contact the head of officiating in the GTHL because I've never seen that before.
It's gotta be a junior hockey thing.
Yeah, it must be.
The Toronto District High School football playoffs are underway with East York School right in the middle of things. The junior boys East York Collegiate team takes on Etobicoke Collegiate in the quarterfinals, while the Malvern senior boys take on Agincourt Collegiate, also in the quarterfinals. The teams are vying for the regional championship and a spot in the OFSA Bowl games, which take place at the end of November at Etobicoke Centennial Stadium. Well, now from balls in the air to balls on the ground, if you're a fan of this show, and we know that you are, you know we love our soccer.
Speak for yourself, Katie. I don't love soccer.
Lanny, they don't call it the beautiful game for nothing. Aside from being the cutest show in town, Little Kickers in East York teaches youth about the ins and outs of soccer. Yours truly got to spend a day down low with these future Louis Sobs.
Ooh, exciting.
Welcome to Little Kickers, a program in East York that uses the elements of soccer to teach children coordination and help develop their mental skills.
Yeah, Little Kicker started about 10 years ago in the UK. A couple had a young son and they wanted to put him into a soccer program and realized there was nothing out there for that age group. So they got together, they got early childhood educators along with soccer coaches and developed a program and tested it out. And from there it's just grown internationally. So it's in Australia and Saudi and then just came to Canada about 3 years ago.
The program runs 3 separate age groups, from 18 months to 3 years old.
This program was built to be able to take the skills they learn from Little Kickers to soccer, to basketball, to hockey, to gymnastics.
Working with kids that young is a challenge, but the coaches use special games to keep them engaged and listening.
One of my favorite games is actually where we put a coach in between a bunch of nets and we pretend that the assistant coach is either a tickling clown that fell asleep or a silly puppy that fell asleep. And what the kids have to do is run around the cages, the outside of the cages. Once the assistant coach, silly puppy, whatever it is, wakes up, all the kids have to find a tunnel, find a doghouse, and hide inside of it.
The program has also helped to develop relationships in the community. Each week, the kids not only learn skills, but get to see their peers. It's a chance for the parents to bond as well.
My daughter has been with Little Kickers since April of this year. She loves it. She loves coming, she loves kicking the ball, she loves being with her friends. It's been a very positive experience for her. I'm just giving out birthday invitations to a friend that we met here. So it's been really nice to see other moms who have children who are in the program as well. And you see each other once a week, and you actually start to do other things with them as well outside of Little Kickers. You know, meet at the park beforehand and meet at the park afterwards. So it's been a nice social environment for everybody.
1, 2, 3, go Team Lightning!
Well, Katie, they were pretty cute. Did you play soccer when you were that age?
I sure did, Lanny.
Did you have any problems picking up the game at such a young age?
You know, it's actually really interesting that you mentioned it. That was one of the things that we talked to the coaches about. Apparently, those kids, much like I did, they have a hard time learning to kick the ball. They always want to pick it up. I guess you learn your eye-hand coordination before you learn your kicking coordination.
That's so sad. Well, when you look at my slender frame, the first thing that comes to mind is undoubtedly, how did he get so fit? Or, wow, he must lift. And despite this common misconception, I don't do any of this. But apparently some people do. Let's go now to Tidal CrossFit and find out more.
Tidal CrossFit's been operating for 3 years now. We have 2 locations, one on the Danforth at Danforth and Coxwell, and one up at York Mills and Leslie. So that one's been open for about a year, and this one for a year as well, actually. So we've seen in this area in East York, we've seen a huge influx of people. Just a variety of different reasons. Some people are just interested to see what's going on, then others have heard of CrossFit separately, and now that there's a gym here, they're checking it out. So most of our members are from the area, and it's been pretty amazing actually to see. So the advantages CrossFit offers are primarily it offers people a type of fitness that is general and broad, and so for the average person that's really useful. Most people don't need to be elite level marathon runners or elite level weightlifters, but they should be able to run a decent distance comfortably, and they should be able to pick things up without much trouble. So what we offer is that kind of in between sort of non-specializing fitness. Our movements are all scalable. Our workouts are They're manageable for a variety of skill levels, so you're never going to walk into a CrossFit gym and just be thrown on a pull-up bar and told to figure it out. We meet you where you're at, and then we build you up from there.
The advantages of CrossFit are I get to come to a class that's structured, so I don't have to think about my workout. I can just come in, do a full hour workout. It's usually a full body workout to hit every muscle group, and I don't have to think about it. They tell me what to do.
Great response. We're booming, you know. New members in our door every day. So we get all walks of life coming in here. People from ages 14 all the way to 65. So everyone is receptive to it. It's a great community feel, great community atmosphere that we have here. Everyone knows everyone knows everyone's name, so it's been great.
I don't think change is the right word. I think it's defined my life in a lot of ways. So it was something I did as a hobby, and now it's, you know, it's what I do, period. So I love it.
Coming up on CSTV, it's Throwback Original as we take you through a sport from the ages.
And look out, the dead are coming. You better run, because the running dead is coming.
Check. Check. This thing on?
Yeah, it's on. Roll the highlights. Can I ask you something?
Sure.
How did you get hired?
Welcome back, East York. Again, if you're just tuning in, this is Lanny, I'm Katie. Welcome to CSTV.
We've still got some archery and some zombies on this fine Hallows Eve, so let's get right to it. The Malvern girls field hockey teams are the city champions once again. The Black Knights won the TDSB Field Hockey Championship last week, besting rival North Toronto 4-3. The win was a special one as North Toronto had beat Malvern in their previous 2 meetings this season. It's their second city championship in the past 3 years. The girls now move on to provincials at the OFSA Championships, which take place this weekend in Waterloo. Legolas, Robin Hood, Zelda. All these people may be very good at archery, but they're also all very fictional. CSTV's very own real person, Paul McGahey, went down to the Toronto School of Archery to learn the ins and outs of bows and arrows.
Archery is a sport that poses no barriers to anyone, regardless of their athletic ability, body weight, or age. So grow with the bow, grow with the bow, grow with the bow, grow with the bow.
In the fall of 2001, Margie Karlowski established the Toronto School of Archery to provide an outlet to those with a love for the sport and also Olympic dreams. Karlowski was in his 40s when he took an interest in archery, making a quick leap from beginner to coach. With some guidance from experts in the field, he saw the need to let kids be kids while also mixing in a teaching style that young athletes could relate to.
The freer your mind is from doubting, expecting, or getting worried or worrying, the better. So if the mind is focused on feeling the movement and guiding it, so to speak, then the mind is free not to think, not to worry, not to doubt.
One of the club's most successful competitors is Samantha Janicek. She won silver at both the under-14 indoor and outdoor provincial championships this year. As she explains, preparing for these events can be quite demanding.
Well, you have to make sure your back is working so your shoulder blades go together, and it gets kind of tiring because holding your arms in the air for a while, and then every shot is you have to extend your muscles more.
In the 3 years since she started archery, Samantha is happy with the progress she has made under the guidance of her coach.
He is a really good coach because he gives you pointers and then lets you build on it, which I like because then it's partly you and him, so he just helps you along the way and not does everything for you.
Most importantly, Karlowski sees archery as a great way to escape the daily grind.
The rewards are different for different people. Not everyone wins a national medal. Not everyone ends up on the Canadian team. But people do archery for many, many years, for their whole lives, because they enjoy that peaceful, meditative kind of activity.
Reporting for Centennial Sports TV, I'm Paul McGaughy.
Katie, have you ever arched before?
Lanny, I guarantee you I probably couldn't even lift that bow and arrow.
That's unfortunate.
Hey, I may not be able to carry a bow and arrow, but I can carry this show.
That hurt, Katie.
The new Scarborough Aquatic Facility is in running to host the 2016 Canadian Olympic and Paralympic trials. Scarborough, Quebec City, Montreal, and Edmonton were the 4 final cities announced to host the 6-day competition, which is scheduled for April 2016. The center is still in process of being built for the 2015 Pan Am Games and is scheduled to be completed this July. Well, Lanny, we saved it till the very end. It's Halloween. Everybody deserves a good scare. And this next feature's got it pretty much everything. A maze that could freak out Jack Torrance.
Oh, Jack Torrance. Shining. I like that.
Shining. Fabulous movie.
Very
Great
good.
movie. I suggest everybody go home and watch it tonight. And it's got the best of all, zombies chasing you.
That's terrifying.
Our own CSTV's Robin Clark has more.
I like Robin.
The inaugural Running Dead event was held on Sunday at Riverdale Park in Toronto's East End. Participants signed up, raised money for the Heart and Stroke Foundation, and trekked through the 5-kilometer obstacle course. It was a cold but sunny day as runners attempted to make their way from St. Matthew's Clubhouse, around the track, through the woods, and up the long hill towards the finish line. Some participants, however, came in full costume and had other ideas. Zombies were scattered throughout the park with the goal of taking human life, or in this case, removing the runners' flags.
For me personally, I know that I would be terrified if I was getting chased by somebody else.
We're hoping just to see those humans thinking that they're going to get to the finish line, and then we'll just shatter their hopes and dreams by tearing them apart.
While many people went through in groups or as part of a team, those who entered alone still enjoyed the experience. Strangers worked together to tackle the course and achieve a common goal.
You know, everyone's trying to work together as a team, even though you don't know each other. And yeah, it was pretty friendly. It's like kind of like a game, and everyone's like has the same objective. So just coming in as an individual, it was kind of fun because it's kind of a more organic team building process. And I just latched on the next group of people and went with them.
A lot of people getting together, and it's like the spirit of zombie and, you know, catching. It brings out a lot of fun. So it's my first time and I actually had a good time, so I'm gonna come back again next time. A lot of people that were strangers, they actually started talking. They were pretty open, and then they're like, hey, why don't we scare people together? Do this. We were coming out with like different techniques to scare them, so it's pretty cool.
According to co-founder JP Richards, over 1,000 people took part on Sunday. And while other venues were considered, Richards feels that Riverdale was ideal for both its size and location.
This is a huge park. You know, there's not a lot of parks that are this big that you can hold this type of event and get 5 kilometers out of it, right?
If you missed out on this year's event, have no fear because Richards confirms they'll return in 2014. Whether you choose to sign up as a human trying to survive the course or as a zombie with a mind for taking lives, the next Running Dead will be new and improved while still testing the physical limits of all involved.
You want to chase humans and want to be undead? Do that. You want to be a human that wants to survive the apocalypse? Sign up. And you don't expect anything. Come show up ready to save your life, okay? Or ready to chase people. That's what you can expect because we're going to change it up. We're never going to do the same obstacles. It's going to be a surprise. It's going to be an experience. People are going to get their fitness on. They're going to run their ass off because we're not just going to get them to go around the track. They're running for their life.
Well, Katie, I'll give you this. It did look a little bit scary, but it's daytime. Can it actually be that scary?
Okay, I'm going to tell you this much.
Okay.
If it's daytime, I don't care what time of day it is. If there's somebody chasing me that looked like that roller derby girl at the end, that's going to freak me out.
Yeah, it wouldn't be pleasant, that's for sure. Now, Katie, it is Halloween. Do you have any special plans tonight?
I'm actually going to dress up as a ceiling fan this Halloween.
A ceiling fan, I like that. That's pretty punny. Katie, I have to ask you another question before I say your name again.
Okay.
Are you going to go trick-or-treating?
You know what? I probably could pass for a trick-or-treater. I'm about the right size, but I'm going to forego it this year. Maybe just pick up some discount
And do you have
candy.
a favorite candy?
Oh, I'm always with the Reese Peanut Butter Cups.
Yeah, I like that. That's pretty
Always.
good. I'm a Kit Kat guy myself. For all of us here at Centennial Sports TV, we want to thank you for staying with us through your Halloween's evening. I'm sure you got other plans coming, but for Lanny, she's Katie. See you soon.